Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are good. Steven here, Steven Boho. It's been a long time since I've actually produced any content with regards to market analysis. But yeah, we're officially coming back. Number one, we are coming back as a new brand. We're coming back as not just only because the channel before was just Stephen Boho, was just in my name. So we decided to turn it into Boho FX Academy, so that we start focusing more on giving out proper lessons and all of that. We want to introduce a certain level of consistency, and we're going to be giving out weekly analysis on four major pairs that we are focused on for us. I'm not a currency guy. I'm new in currency. But I think in the last 2 3 months I've noticed some patterns with it, and I've been doing quite okay. I can say good. Let me not shy away from saying good. Sometimes we need to pat ourselves on the back. So I've been doing good with currency as well. I think because I was offered opportunities in places like Samuel Core Trading and all of those things, I managed to trade amongst the best of the best traders, and I've managed to learn a lot, from most guys I traded with over the past few months. So I felt now we are in a space where we can share the knowledge, we can share some of the things that we use. Hopefully, can make another person's life a bit easier, better. Maybe your level of understanding would also be able to broaden up and brighten out a bit. So yeah, I think now Boho FX Academy would be focused on producing weekly analysis. It will also be giving out signals. We have a new Telegram channel. I'm gonna leave the link below, so that you guys are able to access it as well. So we're giving out free signals, and then hopefully in the next few months we're gonna have a course solely focusing on making trading as simple as possible, because I felt that a lot of mentors out there are making things a bit way complicated. They make you too reliant on their signals and all of that. Signals for us would be free because we feel that um if you are taking risk with us, then why are we making you pay for the risk? Do you understand? Unlike the course would be something different because we're actually teaching you the entire thing. But the signal is saying it's just based on my analysis, also it's based on my assumption. So my assumption could be right and wrong. So therefore, it should not be something that's sold. A course, however, that's why I would recommend, if you find a mentor, if you find a trader which you feel you resonate mostly with their style, and they offer a course, I would advise on a course. But however, I'm not a fan of signals, but it does work for other people, and there are people who are very good in delivering signals as well. So I don't want you to not use other people's services because I said I'm not a big fan of signals. I'm not a big fan because I learned the hard way the first time with signals. Secondly, I think it was because then I didn't understand. Therefore, I feel that you would need to have a certain level of understanding for you to be able to rely on signals. But yeah, let's get to it. For now, I think I'm just gonna focus on the basics, and then I think would we will unfold the rest of the things as these videos continue, as we continue to go forward. So as disclaimer, for me, I think I can say I'm a naked trader, and I don't use any indicators. I don't use any other, robots and all of those kind of type of things. I'm a simple plain price action kind of type of guy. So therefore, whatever I'm going to be showing you would always be based on that. So it would be, when you talk about price action, we'll be talking about support and resistance level, making your price consolidations, Fibonacci retracement level, market swings. So it would be the basic things, from chart patterns to candlestick patterns to trend lines, as I'm looking at some of the things that I wrote down here. So those are some of the basics that you would find in the financial market. Whether it be different instruments, but I feel when you use price action, these are some of the patterns that you can see in indices and in commodities, and in whereas with indicators, it's something that's work for this and only works for that, and it only requires you to do it in a different time frame, and then there, so it usually complicates and make things complicated for most things. So we're here to break things down, make them simple and easy to understand. And then so let's get started. I think we're gonna start with NAS 100, right? And as I've mentioned with all of those things, I think with NAS 100 we should start by using our trend lines. So in simple, when you get here, I usually start from a bigger time frame to a smaller time frame. Reason being is because a bigger time frame shows you an overall market direction, and then a smaller time frame would be able to show you an entry level where you're supposed to start looking for your entries. So with that being said, let's go in. I'm not sure if I'm going to make one video where I'm going to analyze all four pairs that we're going to be focusing on moving forward. Um, Well, but we'll see how long this takes. So if it takes too long, I might have to split it up so that it doesn't take too long, that you end up losing focus. So it's easier when videos are short, straight, and short, straight, and to the point. So I felt that this could actually work in that way. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to give you my swing highs, my swing lows. I'm going to show you how I use the percentage to gauge into my entries. And then I'm going to show you what is it I look for with regards to consolidation before deciding on which direction I'm taking. And so let me quickly try to show you some of the key things that I use. Now, as we begin, I'm going to start with my trend lines, right? With my trend lines, I'm looking for high places and low places. So I'm going to go with, I don't, with swing highs and swing lows, I don't look for three touches, because here it would usually give you one touch and continue, because also this is a bigger time frame. So you would hardly find 3-4 touches before continuing in one direction. So here, I'm going to have the first one. This is my first trend line. I'm going to have my second one here. But still look for three touches though. Still look for three touches. Like here, right? As you can see here, we had our first, our second, our third, our fourth, almost the fifth, and we also had another one here. So you look at major support areas in this one here. So we have major support and resistance level, right? You keep your chart as clean as possible so that you don't end up being confused as to what's going on and where you're going and how you're going to be able to do that and all of those things. So now I'm going to try to break it down as to the second highest levels, right? Second highest levels would be here. Here, I'm starting to look for three touches. So the first ones, I'm not looking for many touches, but the second one, I'm definitely looking for three touches. And then, now that we have all this lined out, we're going to now break it to a smaller time frame. So now, this is what you usually do, right? After you have put your trend lines, what is it that you're looking for? You're looking to understand if your trend is a buy trend or a sell trend. So you're looking to understand if you're going up or you're going down. And this should be able to tell you that. How so? Firstly, you put in your trend line. Let's go with the previous downtrend that was happening here. This was a downtrend at some point, so that you understand how we spotted an uptrend. So we had this as a downtrend for our chat. Oh, my daughter just walked in, guys. So yeah, the perks of working from home is it also gives you time to spend some quality time with family and all of that. So I'm a sucker for my daughter, man. I'm in love with the little girl. First time father. So I want to enjoy the experience of being a father as much as I possibly can. So yes, she's probably gonna walk in and out. So when you hear the door clicking and doing all the funny things, know it's her. And because she's adorable and very cute, that she's allowed to do anything that she wants. And because her father's trying to get much money so that she can be a very spoiled, much of a spoiled brat. But enough about my daughter. Anyway, so as we get back to the focus, right? We see we had a downtrend here. It was broken the first time when it broke above this, and then it had this candle forming. Don't forget this is a daily time frame. So because it's a daily time frame, we're still going to be going down into smaller time frames so that you understand where your entry points would be. So say for instance my entry point was going to be here. Once it got here, because this would be considered then as a resistant level. So, because then would be a resistant level, we would consider this to be a place where it might possibly retest to go down. But when it formed this candle above and it broke above, then we knew that the trend was no longer downtrend. We knew that it already broke. But just because a trend has already broken, it doesn't mean it's just going to keep shooting up or keep shooting down. Don't forget we have what we call resistance levels, right? So every time it goes from a previous support level to the next resistance level, you look at the momentum there at the resistance level, what it's doing. The same way, if it came from up, it's going down, then you know that you have support level where it might stop and it might start consolidating, and then you wait for it so that you know you can decide on what it's doing and which direction you should go with it. And then we have this right here. All right, it shot up, it went up all the way with two candles. This way were two daily candles, and then it went all the way up. Let me make it a bit bigger so that you guys can see it a bit clearer. Right, so we had this. Don't forget the rules of market structure, the rule of price action, the rule of you understanding how the market moves. It's to always look for higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, right? Sure. This is what we had here. We had our higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, right? No, actually, these are considered lower highs. So we have a higher high, lower high, a higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high. Until this thing came here, it broke, and not just only did it break, a lower high set out on top of this trend line. So it meant it was confirming to change in direction, right? But because we still had so much resistance here, as much as it broke here, you would take a buy here, it's fine. But once it gets here, consider this as a resistance level. So because there was this consolidation happening here, we had to wait to figure out if it was shooting up or if it was going down. We couldn't confirm then because we would see that as much as I mentioned that I also use candlestick formations, but I usually use candlestick formations in groups, not as individual candles, because it gives me much clearer clarity as to what are a group of candles doing. Unlike just one candle, it can simply decide to come back down. You can have this candle, and then you can have this candle, and then you can have this candle. So it's just going to make you confused. But if you have a group of candles like this, and you are able to determine what does this candle mean, this candle mean, this candle mean, and you look at the overall decision that you're going to get from these candles, then you are able to decide whether it's going to be a long up or a long down, or even a short up or a short down, right? So, but after consolidation, a very strong consolidation, you usually expect a big up or a big down, right? So this was a very big down, considering this chart is actually on daily. So this was a very big down because it failed to continue to go up. So my daughter's busy asking me questions. Hello, baby. Yes. Okay. Thank you, baby. Love you. So yes, like I said, having a daughter. She didn't go to school today. She's a bit sick. So I decided I want to stay home with her. So I asked her mom to bring her to me. So as I'm doing this, I'm looking after her. But yes, this is one of the perks of being able to trade as well. You're able to be versatile. I'm not there yet at where people are making millions and all of that. I'm still growing this. But what I essentially am trying to do here is to show people that you can be able to make something out of the market on daily basis. You don't need to be making millions. You don't need to be very smart to be trading. You don't need to be very aggressive. You don't need to be losing 10,000 and 5,000 and all of that. You can simply make all these moves while targeting a small profit. You can target your 200 rands. You can target your 500 rands daily, so that by the end of the month you have 5,000 or you have 3,000 to be able to pay your bills, to be able to buy food, to be able to do a couple of few things. So let's focus on those things, right? So yes, now here we are. So um after this consolidation, we see there was a retest, right? Sharp. It went down, and then here we started seeing that it tried to go up, it failed, it went down, it also failed to go down. It tried to go up. This time around it broke, right? But this was a fake breakout, so it came down again, at least to show us it's giving us a last support. And then it supported here to show us now we are getting in an overall buy market. But however, how you're going to be able to see that, also again, look at the pattern, right? After a big drop, there's going to be a shoot up, right? Supposed to go back somewhere at least around here. But before it does that, we have smaller support levels and resistance levels. The ones I didn't target when I was adding trend lines on daily, because they are more visible on smaller time frames. So we'll eld them as we continue to do this analysis. So we have that been broken. So we have a lower low here, and then we have a higher low, and then we have a lower high, and then we have a higher low as well, and then we have a lower high, and then now we have a higher high. So it means it broke the previous lower high. So usually when it does that, it means now we're looking into a buy overall market direction until this comes back to change all the lower highs and higher highs it has been creating. So now where do we put our trend line? Here. So as we continue to go up with it, we can see there's a pattern that we have here. So now we have a market structure, right? The same way it came down here could easily be the same way it's going to go all the way back up there. So what you could be seeing on daily, it could be a big ass V market that we're currently looking at. So it went all the way down, but it seems to be formulating a same pattern as it was going down as it is going back up. So here we are at the resistance level. So it's supposed to at least come down somewhere around here, while it still continued to go back up, back and forth, unless something happens, decides to break and does a shoot up. Now that will be something different. But currently now we're supposed to look at what the market is telling us, not based on our own assumption or own hopes as to what we want the market to give us. You look at what it tells you, you look at what it's doing, you look at your time frames, And guys, it's also important to also look at the opening time sessions of every market. I usually major. I started recently majoring in Asian and London, because of currency pairs that I've introduced in my trading. But I was really a Nasdaq person full time. I'm a major in Nasdaq, so because of that, I used to be a 3:30 person in the afternoon, which is in the US would roughly be around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I don't want this video to take too long, so I'm gonna try to wrap up this as quick as possible. Right now, we're gonna go on smaller time frames. Okay, I skipped 4 hours because 4 hours usually it's there for me to confirm what I saw on daily and what I saw on 1 hour. So I might as well skip 4 hours and go directly to 1 hour, because we have already seen most of trend lines that we put are still reflective even on 1 hour. So there is no need for 4 hours as such. So here 1 hour, we're starting to look for entries, right? Number one, when I look for entries, I look for 4 to 5 things, right? Number one, I look at my market structure. Where's my trend line? Where's my support line? And then I look at my candles. What do my candles tell me? What is the momentum of the direction of that up or down that's currently happening at that time? And then number three, I look at the percentage. As you can see here, there's usually percentage on how much Nasdaq has moved. It happens with every pair. So the percentage usually for me, it helps me to know that Nasdaq moves about 3%. If it's about 2% on a negative, it means I can start looking for buys. It's if it's in a buy and it's usually about time to open and it's currently on 2%, 3%, it usually means now I can look for sales. It might be a small sale for it to continue going on the same direction until 3%, and then 3% I might take a big buy to return with it. The same goes with up. If it's up by 1.5%, then only now market is about to open, I can simply look at my structure first and then see on that 1.5% where it's sitting, and then decide if it has a strong momentum, looking at the candle, if it has a strong momentum to continue to go up, or it's supposed to turn around. So these are some of the detail that you're going to be able to get in our course as time goes by, so that you're able to fully understand what usually goes into analyzing market. But it's just as simple as this, guys. Whatever I did now, it's something that you can wake up and do every day. You just look at the market structure, you look at your trend lines, and then you look at where it's overall going, and then you do it from a bigger time frame until a smaller time frame. But also, market open sessions are very important because they have different influences on the market. So also consider that you just don't enter at 6:30 in the morning. There is no market session opening at that time. Look at towards close, at least 30 minutes to 1 hour before any market session opens. So whether you're doing Asian, you're doing London, you're doing US, those are my major ones that I focus on. And then look at your percentage as to from open up until then, what did it do, so that you know on the next opening session, you know how to approach your market. So yeah, guys, I don't want to take too long on this. It's already 20 minutes, so I feel that if I go way too long, this might get a bit more complicated, right? So currently now, with 1 hour, let me show you what I'm waiting for, because my percentage still tells me that there is still a possibility for more down. So therefore, I'll be waiting somewhere around 3:30. That's when we start to see major big movements around Nasdaq. So it's also important to keep such information very close to you. So here we're going to draw our box. Like I said, I use a group of candles to understand how the market is going to move in the next couple of few minutes or in the next 2 hours. So what I would usually do is I would look where there's consolidation. So I look at where there's consolidation. I look at the group of candles because I don't want to work with one candle, because you would have this candle telling you it's a retest. You might thinking that it's about to shoot up, and then you're gonna have this candle telling you that it's gonna go down, and you go like, yo, this is gonna be a big sale. Don't do that. Listen to what the market tells you. It's going to constantly introduce signals to you bit by bit. It's firstly, it's going to tell you in percentages if there's a strong buy or there's a strong sell. It's also going to tell you with a bunch of candles if there's a strong buy or there's a strong sell. It also is going to tell you with maybe support structure or resistance level or your support levels whether there's a strong buy or there's a strong sell. So wait for your key things that you usually use to determine whether you should buy or you should sell. So in my case here, I would put around 3:30. I would either have my buy coming after it breaks here, or I would have my sell after it breaks here, because I know it would have to come down here. Or I would have my buy here, knowing that it has to come at least somewhere around here. So in that regard, I'll be waiting. I'll keep you guys posted along the day, and we see how this panned out, right? So let me break this down again for the last time. So you also have this. Try to break it down as much as you possibly can, so that you don't end up missing on moves that could potentially make you some money. So you also have this, right? When you have this, it has a potential of at least retesting somewhere around here to continue to go up. So it's important to always look for structure for every time zone that you're in. But most importantly, start with daily and have it on 4 hours and have it on 1 hour. But on 1 hour, the reason why it's very important for you to niche it down to the very smallest detail would be because now you're currently looking for entry points. So therefore, this next entry would make you at least know on, if it failed, you would know that the opposite direction is supposed to come later. Then if it went right, you know where it's supposed to go and how much it's supposed to go. That would also be helped by percentages, because you know that your candle will start showing you that it's slowing down. But when you have your candle and your support structure, would also tell you as much as it's slowing down, it might start to consolidate at that area level, or it might start to consolidate at the lower level, and so forth. So I think for now with Nasdaq, I think we're done. If you guys got any more questions, if you guys want to ask me anything, but trading, guys, it's easy. Those are some of the things that you should be looking at. I think people, we tend to overcomplicate things. Of course, in the future, it might be important for you to know the name of almost every terminology being used in trading. But I can tell you now, it plays no role whether you're going to make money or not, because it's irrelevant. What you need to understand is those basic things. You need to understand structure, you need to understand price action, you need to understand your swing highs, your swing lows, overall market direction, and your percentages. If you have those things on lock, I guarantee you, you're going to turn out as a profitable trader. So guys, best of luck. I'm gonna give you more analysis on Nasdaq going forward. Let's wait until 3:30 and let's see what 3:30 has for us, and let's see if we can take maybe two trades, three trades, and then take it from there. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.